So today I want to talk a little bit about my philosophical approach to dealing with the pace of change of AI and the doom and gloom that's coming at me from 90% of all directions and crazy utopian pie in the sky stuff coming from the other 10%. And I believe that there's a very good chance that the AI future is not going to be death and destruction on one end of like all of civilization, or we all become pure energy beings and float off into space or whatever. But it's going to be something in the middle. And I think it's going to be highly likely that it's going to be something in the middle. And plus, if it's one of those extremes, there's nothing we can do about it. We can't plan for it. It's if it happens, it happens. It's like nuclear war or something like that, or an asteroid hitting us. There's nothing we personally can do. So let's worry about the stuff that we can do something about, and that is the medium place. Okay, so let's see, I'm Maria Korolov. I've been covering enterprise technology for over 20 years. And these days I write about artificial intelligence in enterprise, cybersecurity, and quantum computing. So I go deep into this stuff. All right, so the medium place. We have had major technological revolutions before. We, was something like 95% of us used to be farmers. Now only 5% of us work in agriculture. Technology destroyed 90% of all jobs. Humans have no more reason for existing. The 5% of us are going to feed the other 95, and those other 95 are going to have nothing to do, right? So, right. That did not happen. That did not happen because humans keep finding new things we want. We have professional sports. Why in the hell do we have professional sports? Why are we paying grown men and grown women sometimes to play children's games? But we do. We enjoy it and we pay for it. And as a civilization, we can afford it because technology has provided us with excess capacity. We make more food than we can eat. There are people who are hungry as a result of politics and wars and other local conflicts, not because of a lack of resources. And similarly with manufacturing, we make more stuff than we can use. We have excess capacity, and that creates the ability for us to put some energy into other things, into vaccinating children, having free public education, having healthcare, having therapists, having closet organizers and dog walkers and Twitch streamers and YouTubers and all the other things that we are able to afford as a global civilization because we produce more goods and services as we get more productive as a result of technology. And the number of jobs that we have has not changed. We are at record low unemployment. We're less than 5%, according to the latest data that I saw, something like 4.5, 4.6%. That's functionally full employment. And I went through a whole bunch of job numbers recently. I'll post those again in the description box below. So I don't think AI is going to take jobs away from humans because no matter how many jobs AI can do, we will think of other jobs. And if those other jobs can be done by AI, great. We will think of more jobs. And eventually we will think of a job that AI can't do, that only humans can do, and that will create new jobs. Like professional sports. Like people come to your house and organize your closet, doggy daycare, all of these jobs and millions more we will imagine that we cannot imagine right now. We will imagine, we will create them because we're never satisfied. We always want more, more, more. So we can plan for this. not very well, but we can plan for it way better than we can plan for the AI apocalypse or the AI singularity, right? We can plan for the medium place. So here's the plan for the medium place based on what I'm seeing now. This plan might change. So, first of all, organizations move very slowly. There's still a ton of print publications out there. I get a free weekly printed newspaper in my mailbox every week. They're making money at it because they're still sending it to me. So it's still a viable business, even though the internet's been around for quite a while now. Things change slowly. Things sometimes change very, very slowly. So the job that you have now, it might change and new jobs may appear to replace it, or you might have to shift a little bit in a sideways direction, or you might pick up some new skills and move up. No. So that's like one strategy for AI. Just stay on top of what's going on so you're not going to be the one person in the office who doesn't have a smartphone and doesn't know how to use Google. Don't be that guy, right? So stay on top of what's going on. Um, Learn the things that affect you personally and just like move on with your life like a normal person. I think that will work for the vast majority of people in the vast majority of careers. And in some careers, you don't have to worry about it at all. If you're a massage therapist, you have been competing against automation for your whole life. Massage chairs and those personal massager devices, right? They exist. People still pay for humans to do massage because we like it when other humans pay attention to us and care for us. We go out to restaurants to eat, even though we have microwaves, even though we have delivery. We like it to be outside and interacting with other humans. We're social animals. We like those things. They tried automating restaurants like in the 50s with an automat or something. You're basically eating in a giant vending machine. Nobody wants that. We want to be pampered, and that means that people who care about us. And robots don't care about us because if because they don't have a choice. They have to do what we tell them to do. So not they're not caring about us because they care about us. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if a human hated us, right? Even if we paid them money, they're not going to serve us food, right? They're going to like turn you over to like another waiter or waitress, right? They're like, I don't want to deal with this guy. Or that woman's obnoxious. We're not going to serve her. They can say no, right? They can spit in your food, whatever. There's a risk involved in dealing with people. The restaurant might tell you they don't have any reservations available. It's there might be a really long line to get in, and it's that risk that makes it valuable. Climbing Mount Everest in real life is valuable. You will brag about it. Climbing Mount Everest in a video game, no matter how realistic, is not the same thing because you can't die in a video game. Well, not yet. Maybe you can have a heart attack, but different story. Um, Climbing Mount Everest is an arduous process. It's very costly. You have to train, you have to pay a lot of money, you have to travel, and you're risking your life when you do it. And very few people do it. So it's something you can brag about. So the whole experience industry is probably going to continue to grow. Any kind of experience that people want to have, and they will want to do that experience with other people because it matters when we're around other people. Another way to look at future growth opportunities for careers is to look at what rich people have now. So you can think back to the Middle Ages. What did rich people have? Rich people had educations. They had household help. They had doctors. They had entertainment on call. They were able to dedicate their lives to mathematics or writing poetry or philosophy or traveling or I don't know what else did rich people do? Eat fancy food, right? So these things have become accessible to a middle class person. So once China industrialized, you started seeing Chinese tourists everywhere. All the foreign restaurants opened up in China so that average people could eat pizza and other, sushi and other food, right? Well, whatever they wanted from anywhere in the world has become available to them. Um, and the same is true, like for us, we have medical care, you know, most of the time. Industrialized European countries have medical care. So the further along a country is in its development, the more likely it is that its people have all the things that only rich people had before. So, one of the things that I think might happen as we move forward is that the opportunities that are currently only available to rich people will become available to everybody else. So one of the things that might happen is that we will all become like trust fund babies. So right now, only rich people get to be trust fund babies. But it's nice to be a trust fund baby. When you're a trust fund baby, you can volunteer, you can go into politics, you can start businesses, you can learn cool things, you can travel the world, or you can waste your life doing drinking and drugs and stuff, right? You have so many more options than someone who's not a trust fund baby. Now, somebody who's not a trust fund baby can do all those things. You can save up and travel the world. You can spend a little bit of time volunteering. You can be a stay-at-home parent if your spouse works a lot. There's things that you can do that a trust fund baby can do, but it's very limited. And you're not going to be traveling like every day unless you get a job in the travel industry, which you can do. Um, but being a trust fund baby is going to be nice. It's going to reduce a lot of stress for a lot of people. It's going to give more options. More people will volunteer. More people will go into the arts. So there will be a growth in the volunteer sector, in the arts sector, in politics, in starting small businesses, starting any size businesses, in learning cool things, in becoming armchair philosophers, in rescuing dogs, like the things that we might want to do if we had the time and resources, we will more likely be able to do because humanity as a whole will become more productive and we will have more excess capacity. Other stuff that I think that we will be spending money on is stuff that we want to do right now, but we just don't have the money to do it. Things like cancer research, right? We want to cure cancer. I think medicine is going to be a very big growth area because we all want to be taken care of. We want to be healthier. We want to live longer, more vibrant lives. I think that is going to be a big area of growth, especially as people get older and need more support. Another thing we would like to spend more money on if we had it is cleaning up the environment. I think that is going to be an area where a lot of people want to do stuff and are limited currently in the resources that they have available. And those resources are going to expand because of the increased productivity. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen as AI develops and gets adopted. And yeah, people adopt it slowly. So I don't think it's going to happen overnight because behaviors change slowly. Another thing people want to do that would be cool for us to do if we had the money is space exploration. Let's stop mining our planet and start mining the asteroids. Let's put our data centers up there, infinite power with, sun around the clock, and you can radiate excess heat right into space with radiators. And you have low temperatures if you want to run a quantum computer up there. And you have direct laser beam communications at the speed of light between different things floating around in space. And we already know we can protect computers from space rays because we already have a ton of computers up there on all the satellites. So I think putting data centers up in space will reduce the burden on the planet, and it will help support a growing space industry because the stuff that we mine up there we can use right there instead of shipping it down to Earth again, which is going to be shipping stuff on and off planets is expensive. Using it up there is really cool. I think we're going to build space habitats, maybe within my lifetime. The first industrial revolution doubled our lifespans. I, given all the progress that we're already seeing with AI and CRISPR and other stuff that we've invented recently, I think the likelihood is really, really high that we're going to have another doubling of our lifespans if we live long enough, which means that we all should be walking an hour a day because that might get us to live long enough to reach that point. So, yeah, start eating more vegetables, getting more walks. Um, that's how you can prepare for the AI future. All right. And on that note, I'll see you guys all next time. Bye bye.